defend or die in marriage. Defend or die. That's your choices. That is your choices. But many people, many of us are more inclined to always defend. I'm not really saying physically defend, although you have a right to do that. But I really mean defend as in defend and deflect. That means your partner, your spouse called you out on things. We all got stuff about us, quirks, idiosyncrasies about our ways or our mind that our partner may not particularly like, right? It could be the way that we communicate, the way we handle that neighbor, that coworker, that our parent or our in-law, the way we are with money, with certain things, the way maybe he or she saw something on your phone, a picture or comment on social media that is questionable. Your body language, irritabilities that these things that irritate your partner, your spouse. So it's various things. And often we, rather than say, listen, yeah, I got caught, or yeah, I know that's certain thing about me is not the best, apologize. Rather than say, what can we do to make this better, or what do you suggest that I do to be better, or we deflect, we defend and deflect, and we say, oh, you always do this and you always do that, and pride comes up. We need to, because we feel like we're being attacked now. And I know there's people that you're with someone that it's hard to do that, because that person's always yelling and flaring up and is very volatile, and if you're that kind of person, you need to obviously leave that person, is not healthy, but if you're with the right person, the person will call you out in a peaceful way, in a loving way, and know the best time to do that. It's not when you're hungry and when you're super tired. Y'all work that out when the best time to call you out on something. But many of us still, we tend to defend and deflect, and you always looking at this the wrong way, you always doing this and doing that. And if you're that kind of person that's always defending and deflecting, you're not ready for marriage. You're not ready. Because and it's a healthy marriage when two people can do that. There's a healthy emotional space because something is bothering you. Like, don't act like, there's never a time when you're not bothered by your partner, you're not bothered by your spouse, and you're leaving all that inside, all that tension, all that stress, all that pressure, and that's stressing your body, that's stressing your mind, that's that will undermine the health of your relationship when you're not with someone that's in an emotionally safe place to be able to even vent things properly to you. But if you're the kind of person that's always like, you're not willing to listen and like be like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and if you disagree, but at least listen. I know you said that, but I disagree, and this is from my perspective why I disagree with that. Or you misread that, or you misheard that, or you're looking the wrong way. But you also got to do it in a peaceful spirit. If you cannot do it, you're not ready for marriage. You're not. So and contrast to that is die. As the Bible says, I die daily. And it's not, and it don't feel good to die. Obviously, nobody. Think about physical death. The thought of it scares a lot of people. When you see your loved one about to die, it's very painful. I'm sure when we go to that time that we're about to die, it's, especially if it's a very serious, painful condition that we're in, it'd be very painful to go through that condition until we die. Very painful. But it's not like physical death brings pain, whether the people that's directly affected or those who are not in the dying process, but they have a relationship with that person that's dying. There's pain involved, right? As it pertains to death. But likewise, there's a lot of pain that's deals with death to ourself, death to your anger, toxic anger, death to the projection, to the narcissism, to the blaming, to the filthy communication, to the cursing, to the foul way that we speak, the foul way of the unforgiveness. Oh my gosh, the pride, the maliciousness, the vengefulness, always trying to get back at your partner, get back, the infidelity, the cheating. You know, there's a lot of things that we got to die to ourselves, and there's things in us that we get that you know, either inherited or cultivated. These traits of characters that we bring into marriage, and because we're not dying to that, we're not seeking ways to deal with that. The addictions, the people come into marriage who are alcoholics, porn addicts, you know, filthy, this loud mouth, you know, don't know how to communicate properly, don't know how to handle money properly, this horrendous of money, very unhealthy with their body. They're not active at all physically, with their health, and I'll bleed over into marriage. If you're not well physically, you know, you're not gonna be. It's hard to deal with another person. You're not well in your body. You're not well in your mind. Many people are not reading the books. They're not taking any classes. They're not taking any therapy. They're not doing these things that will say, "Wow, I got to deal with this trauma that's in me. I got to deal with the problem that's in me. I got to deal with the way I deal with things." And it's not healthy. Many of us know, and we don't do anything about it. And many of us are, frankly, unaware, and we need someone to expose that. Like, wow, this thing is really off about you. Like, oh, I never realized that about me. You know. And that's the beautiful thing. When you are with the right person, that person can help you to see certain things about you that you weren't really realizing before. You know, so, you know, I think marriage can be like a mirror that can really reveal to you your flaws, your shortcomings. And it's not that we'll never ever have shortcomings again, but we gotta try the best that it's not super intense now. It's you know, of course, we all got flaws, but obviously, I think we know there's flaws that are major and ones that are minor. There are things that's really not a big deal, it's trivial, and there's things that's really, really a problem. So, and many people go into marriages not dealing with the major stuff, or, you know, they think they're okay, you know, but they think they're rich. As the Bible says, they're rich. I'm good, I'm great, not rich at base of money, but you know, I'm rich in love. I'm rich in communication. I'm rich in my attitude. And no, you're wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. You got problems. But you think you're okay. You think you good. You think I'm good. I'm good. I can handle a man. I can handle a woman. No, you really can't. You got internal work that needs to get done. All right. So it's your choice to defend or die. To your those things that's and if you don't die to your wicked carnal ways and those things that's really toxic, your marriage will die. So either thing will die. You choose either your wicked toxic way that's within you, or your marriage will die, or your relationship. Either one, right? So that's my take on the matter. My insights. I love you. I pray the best for you, and there's a whole bunch of dysfunctional, torn relationships, and these are two big factors that is mentioned why marriages are just horrendous today. Relationships are horrendous. Domestic violence, tension in homes, you know, problem after problem, because we're not willing to do the work. We're not willing to humble ourselves. We're not willing to check our attitudes, check our way we speak, and do better. So it's somebody, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. Yet, you know, like in the Bible, what Jesus' disciples, when he said someone will betray me, they all said, "Is it I? Is it I? Is it I, Lord?" But many times we're not willing to do that. Say, "Is it I?" We're saying, "Oh, it's you, it's them, it's that person," you know. So, yeah. All right, y'all. God bless you. Love you.